was the infamous 2005 US Grand Prix, which saw 14 cars pulled out of the race due to tyre safety concerns. For 2022, the FIA announced that the cars would now be rolling on 18-inch wheels, far larger than 13-inch wheels used prior. These larger tyres were designed to reduce overheating, improve grip and provide more aggressive racing. If you don't know, the tubular safety device that sits over the driver's head, aptly named the halo, is constructed out of titanium and has roughly 9 kilograms to the car's total.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the pre-season event of a brand new season here with Gavra Racing. It's a great pleasure and a privilege to be back around what is a very wet Spanish circuit here in Barcelona. The drivers having to do a lot of throttle management already in the opening 6 minutes of this qualifying session. But for those that don't know, I'm Jack CM53, your commentator for the Weekend League Tiers 2 and 1. It's Tier 2 for tonight, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of action out on circuit. We've already got times coming in on the screen. You can see that the Steps VRBS currently leads the way on a 122 flat. Morocom is second, Macca's third, 3DPrinting4U is fourth, and Denmark is fifth, as Dino slots himself into second place. So it's a returning drivers 1-2, Morocom, Macca, Frizzy Prism, Denmark, all, I believe, new drivers to Gavra Racing. You've got Kobe P, JMB, Surreal, J Evans, Fake Knutson, Pat, Spannel, Sick Boy, all returning from last season. Lionel Griesby back in league racing for the first time in a few years. I know Lionel Griesby outside of league racing, a very good friend. It's good to see him out on circuit, but new to Gavra. See how he gets on this evening. He's had a couple of laps so far. Had a bit of a wobble into the gravel earlier, I saw in the session, but he'll crack on. There's Milo Bello coming back as well from last season. Mikey's also back, not out of the pits yet in the other Scarlet Ferrari. And Dr. Strauss, 18, is brand new to the league as well. So a nice mixture of old faces, familiar faces, and new drivers out on circuit. It's going to be really, really good to see. We've got, I believe, a full grid for registering this season, as far as I'm aware. We've got 17 drivers in tonight. We've got a couple missing, but that is not the end of the world. It is the pre-season event. No points available for this round here at Spain. We'll have the calendar reveal as well later on, which will be at 9 o'clock British Standard Time. For those that are unaware, the Gavra calendar never revealed before the start of the season. But I'm sure that'll be a good opportunity for everyone to see how the field will work themselves out. We've got fourth place, one of the Williams is just coming past the start-finish line. That's Matka, 91. There's number 69 on the side of his car, so deciding not to match his number to his PSN, or indeed his EA profile, shall we call it. Steps putting a couple of comments, a few comments in from everybody, from the Steps, Sim Freedom, Shortbread, Pusher Dino, Money Game. Good to see you all back. It's some familiar faces there, which is pleasant to see. Hope you're all having a good evening. It's 5 o'clock in the UK currently. But we do have some fun conditions. We don't know what the race conditions are going to be like yet. We haven't had any intel from the pit lane. If it is ending up being a wet race, and I guarantee it's going to be a lot of carnage into turn one. That's Frizzy Prism. Frizzy. There's the first one of the season. Frizzy Prism, I should say, getting a 121.590. That's a great effort. Almost 4/10 clear of the Steps. That's a very competitive lap time. As I say that, Morocom goes even quicker by 600ths of a second. That's one of the Ferraris just emerging from the pit lane there. I think that's Mikey coming out, and it is indeed Mikey coming out on track there. But we're following the Alpine of Denmark. I want to say it's Denmark, I want to say, to be honest with you. Let's see what he does as he crosses the line. It's 122 and a fastest final sector from the Alpine driver. I wonder if these conditions are just starting to get a little bit lighter. You can see we come into turns 1 and 2. Looks like there's a little bit of a drier line. I wouldn't say it's dry, but it looks like there's some tracks in the road. So maybe the conditions are getting a little bit quicker now for the ones who are out on circuit at the moment. We've got a number of drivers in the pits at the moment. Steps, Dino, Matka, Kobe, J Evans, JMB Surreal, CT Pat as well. There's a comment that just came in saying it's very strange seeing Dino in the McLaren. I would say that is typically in the Red Bull is Dino. but in Tier 2 this season, so I'm hoping to see some good action from him. He was always quick in Tier 1, never quite got the results he would have wanted. Dino out there on circuit. We just got a comment also from the information from the pit lane, actually, from our intel inside, saying that it's dry for the race. So these conditions certainly not reflective of what we're about to see. It's a 25% race this evening as well. Big slide from the Red Bull going around turn number, I believe it's turn 5 there. I think that was Sick Boy. Unfortunately, Sick Boy not with Tutty Boy this evening. Those two, can't rely on those two to make some comments. Lion agrees, he's just selected the wet tyres. Just having a look at the track, it doesn't look like it's getting any wetter, so maybe that's maybe an accidental change there. Ooh, that's the McLaren of just going a little bit sideways at turn 11. That's Dino trying to find the limit to the grip on his outlap, trying to get those tyres up to temperature. But we have got Sick Boy going into the pit lane. We've got Fake Knutson we're following. Just approaching turn 11 and 12. Third gear, just taking it easy. Some drivers will be using traction control, some will be using no traction control at all. I feel in these conditions that no traction control is the fastest way to go about this. Racing on track. Let's see what Fake Knutson does. That's a nice time from the Alfa Romeo, right with his teammate for this year, Kobe Pete. And a brand new game, a brand new season on a brand new game for Gavra. Have been some issues with connections and other matters that we've seen in other racing leagues. Always a very turbulent time in the opening few weeks of any Codemasters F1 game release. Gavra waiting until today, the 1st of October, to get their pre-season event started. Probably the right time to do so. Hopefully we won't have any technical issues. We are in Tier 2 tonight for those that are just joining us, and I hope you do have a pleasant time watching the action on track. It's a 25% race for tonight. And as I said earlier, points do not count. You don't get any points for this event. It's a chance for the drivers to acquaint themselves with on-track racing. And I'm sure the drivers will be a little bit rusty as F1 Dino puts himself provisionally pole on a 121.1. That's a top effort from him. And this steps goes up to second. So it's a McLaren 1-2. This is looking like a good partnership already in these opening 14 minutes. We've got less than 5 to go in the session. Still plenty of time for this to change. Well, the Ferrari's out on track there. That is, I think it's Mikey RK13. Had a couple of good results last season, did Mikey on F1 22. He seems to have made a bit of a performance improvement from what I've seen in other leagues that Mikey races in. Seems to have taken a step forward this year, but let's see if he can do it on Gavra. It's a completely different league. Much more combative league as well as Gavra racing. Always like to fight it hard. Two drivers out on the wet tyres. Sick Boy, one of them. Maybe finding that there's a little bit more grip out there for the wets. Maybe we're at a crossover point. Just does look like it's it doesn't look like it's raining as hard as it was before, though. Watching the Ferrari just come out of turn number 9 there. Seeing Line agrees be out of turn 12 and into the old profile turns 13 and 14, completely flat in the dry, but you can see Line of Greasby taking a little bit of a breather through the corner. In fact, going into the pits, maybe realising the wet tyres probably not the right option of compound to be on. That's Dino being wheeled back into the pit lane. Following Kobe P, had a good few results last season, did Kobe. Fighting for a few podiums at times. Can he match that this season? You've got to look at the drivers, you know, a few drivers here who are returning who you would feel should be near the sharp end. F1 Dinos, the steps, you know, returning drivers, you know, Fake Knutson, don't forget Fake Knutson won the pre-season event in last season's race at Monza. You know, didn't quite reach those heights again, but don't rule out Fake Knutson when there's a bit of chaos going on. He does tend to pick his way through the field. Jay Evans as well, you'd feel he's one that you'd expect to feature near the front. Can CT Pat get a point? I'd love to see Pat get a point. He's not had one yet in Gavra. I think this is his third season, if I recall. But it'd be really good to see the Williams driver get a point. We've got Kobe P coming round the final corner. Completely flat on the exit. What's this lap time? It's a 21.7. That's a good effort from Kobe. Joined 6 drivers in the 121s. And then you've got another 6 in the 22s. I should say there's another 5 drivers in the 22s. A couple in the 23s and then 3 drivers in the 24s. But don't forget, some of them, they have looked at the weather conditions. If they are going to be dry, those drivers further down, the likes of Spannel, you'd expect further in the field. We know that Spannel typically qualifies a little bit weaker than Spannel, but his race pace is excellent. You'd expect him to push his way through the field around this circuit. The Czech driver, nice slide from Spannel. Just lost the back end. Oh, we've lost Jay Evans. Disconnected from the session. I hope that Gav can get him back in. We've still got plenty of time to do that. Can any of the newer drivers, there's Morocom going through sector 1 in the Aston Martin. He's gone faster in the first sector than what he's done so far. I'm just riding on board of him. I know that you can see that Gav is clicking through the menu options trying to get Jay Evans back in the event. But I'll talk you through almost radio style Morocom going through turn 9, but he's backed out of the lap. He's decided against it. He's going to try and recharge the battery. Bit of a queue actually for the drivers. Ooh, line of Griesby's trying to get on a lap. One of the AlphaTauris getting out of the way, and the Haas is to the inside of the track. But line of Griesby on a out lap at the moment, so not going to be affected too much. That's a couple of cars coming down the pit exit, and that's too late. That's Mikey Arcade going out on the wet tyres, and there's only 10 seconds to go, so I'm not quite sure what's gone on there, but a miscommunication with the Tifosi team. Pusher saying he's also in Weekend League 1. So that's F1 Dino, who's currently on pole. We are in the last few seconds of this session. Dino's hit the wall, actually, whilst he's been out on track, so he's got a broken front wing. He won't be improving. So the steps, he will cross the start-finish line. He's going to be one of the next drivers. Denmark goes up to 3rd. I'm going to call him Denmark from now on, unless he corrects me. But can the steps go any faster? He can, but he doesn't get pole. It's a 1:21.2. He's very close. I think it's Matka going into the pit lane. What about Kobe P? He's the next driver in 6th place. Trying to push his way to the flag. JMB Surreal's hit the wall. He's out. And Kobe P doesn't improve on that lap. So Dino could be on for a pole position. Looking to see who's the next driver. It's going to be Spannel around this final corner. He was improving on his lap in the Alpine. Can he go any quicker? He can. It's up to 12th. Further back, the next car across the road. Just trying to see who it's going to be. It's one of the Aston Martins. Is that Morocom? He's in the pit lane. Oh, Frizzy Prism's lost it. He's in the wall. He was on a lap. He just lost it on the exit of turn 12, and that's game over for him, but still a good quality performance. Milo Bellows in the pit lane. Lionel Griesby, I don't think is on a lap. No, he's not. He's getting out of the way, in fact. He's got a broken front wing, so I think Griesby has hit the wall. But it's F1 Dino with pole position then for the pre-season event ahead of the steps. The 2 McLarens, a couple of tenths ahead of Denmark and Morocom and Frizzy Prism. Those 3 are all on the same tenth of a second, very close between 3rd to 5th. Then it's Kobe P. Matka, good qualifying on debut for him in 7th. Fake Nuts and Jay Evans, JMB Surreal crashing out on the final lap of qualifying, but still a top 10 berth for him. Not the end of the world. He'll be happy with it. So that is qualifying run and done. Some very tough conditions for the drivers to have to fight there. But nonetheless, they all got through. So it's a 1-2 for McLaren. How happy will Zach Brown be in the McLaren pit garage for that one? It's 3 debutants in the form of Denmark, Murakam and Frizzy. I'm going to call them Frizzy. It's Kobe P in 6th place. That's a good quality from him. Matka in 7th. The top 7 very close together within 6/10 of pole position. And there's quite a gap back to Fake Knutson in 8th place. 1.2 off the pace. It's Jay Evans, JMB Surreal, Dr. Strauss. The first of the drivers outside of the top 10. Spannel, Pat, Sickboy and Milo Bello. And the 2 Ferraris of Mikey and Lionel Griesby. 16th and 17th. The Tifosi will be demanding more, I'm sure. But this is an interesting circuit. Lots of opportunity to overtake, especially with the reprofiled final 2 corners. But it is only qualifying. The race can prove to be very different. And do expect that the drivers will be a little bit rusty today, I imagine. I think there might be a couple of incidents potentially. There might be a few nerves as well. This is the first time league racing on a brand new game. So there could be a little bit of carnage. We do hope not. Safety car is enabled as well. Now, in terms of the pit strategy today, it is a 25% race, so you are expecting soft to medium, medium to soft. I can't imagine the hard tyres would have a factor here unless there was a very early safety car and someone wanted to brave the hard tyres to the end of the race, but it's whether they'd be quick enough. And what we've seen here is that the fresher tyres compared to old ones on this game, there's a huge performance advantage being on the newer compounded tyre. But we've got the 2 McLarens on the front row for the pre-season event. Who will make the best start? And the race is live from Barcelona. It's a good start from Dino. He needed that one. He's going to be pulling away towards turn 1. Murakam and the Alpine of Denmark together. Frizzy's made a good start. He's up to 4th. He's looking at the inside. Going into turn 1. That's Alfa Romeo. That is Maka and Fake Knutson having a bit of contact through turn 1. They got through it relatively okay. Everyone seems to have got through fine. Mikey's up a few places. That's a good start for him. But just looking at it, what a great opening couple of corners. Everyone just filtering through at the present moment. That's the Haas of Frizzy. It's going a little bit wide. He got away with that. But good start. Kobe P and Denmark fighting side by side. Kobe's on the inside line, approaching turn number 7. Who's going to break a little bit later? They give each other racing room. That's good move from Denmark to stay ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Matka's right in behind. Fake Knutson's there as well. Different strategies being used. Matka gets through. And Kobe P, I think, might let his teammate go through there. Yeah, he does. But they tell you something. I was going to say he's going to let him go through. He's not actually. He's fighting hard. And only now is he going to relinquish the position. It looks as if he does. And the 2 Alfa Romeos working together already. Now, the tyre strategy is interesting. Dino, on those soft tyres, got a good launch. He's already a second clear of the steps. He's coming under pressure from Morocon. But Frizzy Prism, using the battery early on, is going to look to the inside of Moro towards turn 1. Breaks a little bit later than the Aston Martin and goes through. Don't forget, all these cars on equal performance. Ooh, a little bit of wobble from Frizzy through turn 3. Just about survived that. But we are on board with the Haas. He's got the steps right in front of him. And Dino will want to break that 1 second gap as soon as possible. He would want the steps to try and work with him and help him to break out of the DRS train. But for the steps' his own race, he'll want to try and keep up and stay within the DRS of Dino in front of him, just so that he doesn't have any threat from Frizzy behind. Frizzy looking quick in these opening stages, on using those soft tyres to good effect. Further back, there's a little bit of a... Of course, it looks like the car's spread out. Kobe P looking up the inside of Matka, but he's not going to go for that move. He's not stupid enough. But a good start. And everyone quite close together already in the opening phases. This is a good opening event. We come round this very fast final corner. Fake Knutson with a time penalty already. We do expect track limits to be caught up a little bit around Spain. It does tend to be a problem round here. The track limits are quite harsh. But the drag reduction system is now enabled. So there's 2 places on the circuit where you can use it. Down this main straight. As CT Pat goes past Lionel Griesby for 16th place. Pat making an overtake there. That is great to see from him. But of course, Matt, in terms of Lionel Griesby on the medium tyres, Pat there on the softs. And that's Sick Boy going past Dr. Strauss for 12th place. That's a good move up the inside at turn number 5. And the McLaren's leading the way. It's 1-2 at the moment. They're still in those positions. Now the steps didn't get DRS on that lap, so Frizzy will be looking to try and put a bit of pressure on him on the main straight. A couple of changes going on. Kobe P getting past his teammate. Matka going past J&B Surreal as well. But we're following the action in the front. So Frizzy just downshifts a gear, gets the car turned in. DRS now active. He can put the wing open. Look at the straight line speed with a bit of battery usage, and Frizzy moves into second place. A straightforward overtake. But I have to say, the top 5 pulling away from Kobe P in 6th. Fake Nutsin under pressure from J&B Surreal and Matt, who are swapping places again. They keep each other nice and clean, just about to get away with it. But so far, so good. It's been great action all over the circuit. We're following the fight near the back of the pack. That's Jay Evans, who we've not had connection with. Obviously, he's gone. Oh, that's Pat going very deep into turn. I don't know where. I don't know how he did that at turn 4. He's got that a little bit wrong. He's running to the back of Lionel Griesby. He won't be happy about it. But there's loads of fights happening all over the circuit. There's a fight from 6th that Kobe P leads the train of cars, but Fake Nutsin looking like the cork in the bottle on the medium tyres. He doesn't quite have the pace that J&B Surreal does, as Dr. Strauss fighting with Sick Boy, who gets the tyres lit up out of turn 10. And that's Dr. Strauss through. Mikey having a little bit of a correction mid-corner. And that's going to put Dr. Strauss right under the wheel tracks of the Ferrari. He's going to have the battery, he's going to have the slipstream. He's right with Mikey. Mikey doesn't have much battery left. Mikey trying to squeeze him down the straight, but Dr. Strauss goes through. Mikey just needs to back off, charge a bit of battery, and try and go again. But there are fights happening all over the track. Gavra doing his best to try and keep up with the action, as am I. J&B Surreal, though, has overtaken Fake Nutsin for 7th place. Now, can the AlphaTauri pull away? Because Fake Nutsin looks like he was struggling a touch at the start. Drivers have to use their battery tactically here. And that will be very important. Frizzy Prism, by the way, within DRS of Dino. But the 2 medium shod drivers of the Steps and Moricom, they're the drivers you've got to watch out for later when they're on the soft compound tyre. You expect them to be very quick shortly. There's so many fights out on track, though. This is great racing to see. There's a fight between the top 5. Then Kobe P's got a little gap to himself. It's J&B Surreal and Fake Nutsin and Matka and Spannel just about trying to make that a 4-car fight for 7th. Dr. Strauss is in front of Mikey, and those 2 are together. Then Sick Boy is on his own. Milo Bello's got Jay Evans, who is now back in control of his car. So good to see Jay Evans back in, and that's DRS wide open for the Red Bull. And he's past Milo Bello. There's Matty there in 16th place. Matty, otherwise known as Lionel Griesby. I will call him Matty from time to time. Matty and Patty, 16th of 17th. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe that'll be a thing for this season. But we are following the fight with J&B Surreal. He's got Matka all over the back of him. Now, at this point, the drivers who are on the soft tyres, they'll start to feel those compounds just slipping away from them a little bit. The grip won't be quite as there as it was at the start of the race, and you'd expect the medium tyre drivers to be right on the limits now of getting past them. Been really clean race so far, and that's Frizzy Prism's round. The man who was challenging for the race lead, Frizzy, has gone off. He's got it back in a straight line. He's going to lose a few spots. Drops down to the side-by-side with Matka. These 2 have got to give it up. One of them's got to give each other the room. They're still giving each other room, but Matka stays in front. I imagine Frizzy will have the better benefit of DRS. Having said that, though, Matt's got a very quick Williams down this main straight towards turn 1. There you go, and that is Frizzy back up to 8th. But, oh, contact between Fake Knudsen and JMB Surreal. Frizzy's trying to take advantage. They can't go free wide through here. They've got to try and make it stick and work. JMB Surreal survives for now. It just looked like a little bit of contact wheel to wheel. I don't think anyone was at fault there. It was just a 2-into-1. Don't go. Frizzy's really struggling. He's fighting the car over the grass. Oh, and that's a bit messy. And Frizzy's on the grass. And what was looking like an excellent race for Frizzy has just fallen away from him. He has rejoined in 12th place, but that was a little bit unfortunate. Frizzy just trying to hang on to those places. Not so much in desperation, but certainly trying to hold on. Oh dear. So with that in mind, the top 5 become the top 4. And that's the step. Well, that is an interesting decision. The steps on the medium compound tyres is the first driver to pit in the field. Now, will he go to the softs to run to the end of the race? Can the soft tyres last that long? The answer is, in Step's mind, it can. He's going for those soft compound tyres. So let's see where he feeds back out. But that is a brave decision from the McLaren team. While at the front, Morocom looking to try and for the first time ever here at Gavra, right with Dino, whose soft tyres are probably struggling now. The Steps has come out in 15th place, got a little bit of clean air as well in front of him. The next car is Lionel Griesby, who's 3.5 seconds in front. But whether the Steps can make those tyres last, we shall see. There are a few gaps out on circuit. Sick Boy also pitting as well. Let's see how that strategy works out. So 2 drivers have pitted already. And will Morocom, Denmark or Dino respond in this front 3 fight? Now, I feel like Denmark might be the one to do something a little bit different. Dino in the pits. That's a yellow flag out there. That's Jay Evans who's gone round. Mikey's fallen down with him as well. Mikey's very far off the circuit, so I'm not sure what's happened between Jay Evans and Mikey. But Mikey, unfortunately, has dropped down the field. There's lots of pit stops now. That's Dino, that's Kobe. Dino gets out in front of Kobe. That was important. He didn't want to lose any more time in his pit stop. So Dino responding to what his teammate did, puts the power down, but the Steps goes through. So the Steps is in front of Dino. So that is a battle change for the race lead. Oh, look at the Steps and Lionel Griesby fighting side by side as Pat picks up a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. In front of this, you've got Strauss and Mello Bello into turn 4. Oh, touch of wheel-to-wheel contact. The Steps goes through, though. And Steps just has to hold it around the outside. That is great racecraft. How important is that? He's got 2 cars between himself and his teammate. That was very opportunistic from the McLaren. And the Steps up to 6th position now. Let's see if he can make that work. That's easy, Pat's. Oh, I think he's disconnected. Dino getting stuck behind the rest of the drivers, though. He's going to try and go past the pair of them into turn number 10. That's a little bit messy through there. Strauss and Mello Bello are side by side now as a result of that through turn 12. And Strauss goes in front. And that's Morocom, the top 3, all pitting. Apart from Fake Knudsen. But Fake Knudsen's going to lead the way on those medium tyres. Morocom comes out the pit lane behind the Steps. Where is Dino? Relating to Morocom, it's going to be close. But Morocom has jumped him. And that is vital. That overtake by the Steps to get past those cars early in the lap has just got him in front of Morocom. But Dino is trying what he can to get through. But the Aston Martin stays in front. Great pit stop from the Aston Martin team. Excuse me, as Dino tried to go around the outside at turn number 5, but couldn't make it stick. Now, Morocom's got 2 lap fresher soft tyres than the Steps. They should last till the end of the race. Can he make an impression on the Steps now? With 7 laps to go after this. Denmark's a little bit further back. Dino has to try and put the pressure on Morocom as best as he can. Kobe P with a lunge up the inside on Lionel Griesby for 7th. And Lion just getting out of the way of it. He's running a different race strategy to everybody else. There's only 1, 2, 3 drivers on circuit who are yet to pit. Fake Nutzen carries on again. That's Milo Bello diving for the pit lane. Line Griesby carries on. Dino closing the gap up, but he's not quite there. You've got the Alpine and Frizzy together out on circuit. Frizzy trying to go around the outside of the final corner. Wow, what a move. His race might not have worked out for him. He might have had a mistake, but that is a fabulous overtake from Frizzy. One of the best I've seen in Gavra. I've never seen that before. What a move. The Haasman up to 10th place then. That's Milo Bello being overtaken by Dr. Strauss for 14th position. Don't think there was much Spaniel could have done about that, really. The move from Frizzy was brilliant. Not a traditional overtaking place. Steps goes past Fake Nutzen for the race lead. So now the Steps has got a car between himself and Morocom, but oh, Dino's lost it. He's just about kept it in a straight line. It's a good job the tarmac is to the inside of that corner. He could have lost a lot more ground than that. Fake Nutzen pits now from those medium tyres. And Morocom will have DRS because of how close he was, and a new fastest lap from the Aston Martin driver. Well. The Steps leads. Morocom is second, but he is inside DRS. Then it's Dino. Denmark is fourth. Kobe is fifth. You've got JMB Surreal in sixth place, just in front of Matka. Frizzy up to eighth after his spin from earlier on. Spaniel's emerged in front of Fake Nutzen for ninth, and Fake Nutzen is the one who's in 10th. 2 Red Bulls, 11th, 12th, Strauss, Melo Bello. Line of Griesby coming out of the pits in 15th place to see if he can use those soft tyres. Mikey 16th, and CT Pat has only just rejoined the lobby, but he's down in 17th. So maybe Pat will use the rest of this session as a test lobby. But Morocom, we look to the fight at the front. Hopefully Gavra will pick this up, because Morocom is right with him for second place. The Czech driver under pressure from the Aston Martin. He's got a couple of laps, see if he can get past the McLaren driver. DRS wide open. This could be an opportunity here. Another fastest lap from the Aston Martin. Here he comes. Wide open is the drag reduction system, and through goes Morocom for the race lead. Certainly not shy of making an overtake is Morocom. He's looked quick all the way through the session. He's got the lead of the race, and now Steps has to keep up with him. This could be the fight for the race victory. Dino has got Denmark behind him. So he's going to have to fight really hard, but Dino's going to be frustrated. He's got to try and iron out this inconsistency he has from spinning off. But this is what the pre-season event's for. Get those mistakes out the way early, and you can have a good season after that. Kobe P's there in 5th. JMB Surreal in 6th place. He's still got Matka right behind him. We'll call him Matt from now on. I think that might be easier. And it's Frizzy in 8th place. He's pulled away from the cars behind. And Fake Nutzen is past Spaniel for 9th place, using those soft tyres to good effect. He's got to get away from Spaniel though. He's got 3 seconds to remove of his penalty. Say something though, the Steps is just about hanging on to Morocom. He's got DRS once again. What about Denmark for 3rd place? Dino already trying to go defensive. The DRS is wide open. Battery usage is high. And Denmark goes into 3rd place. 3 different manufacturers on the podium then. Dreams of a McLaren 1-2 slipping away at the moment. Bello picks up a time penalty. That'll help Line of Griesby. Kobe P in 5th place. Matka is also right behind JMB Surreal. That's who Gavra was following before. This is a good debut from Matka, has to be said. I said I was going to call him Matt, but there we are. But these two very close together out on track. It's Dino. Dino not going to be close enough for a move. Fair play to Steps. He's just about hanging on. But having said that, he's hanging on for dear life to that DRS. Does he get it this time round? I don't think he does.
2014
No. Steps has lost the DRS and Morocom has got 3 laps to go to take his first win on debut. Dino, DRS wide open. He's following Denmark once again. He's going to have the inside line for turn 1. They're going to go side by side through the corner, but good defence from Denmark. But Dino trying to go all the way around the outside at turn 3. That's hard to do. And Denmark should just hold the inside line. Is Dino going to be brave enough to go around the outside at turn 4? He's going to try it. This is a great bit of racecraft and he goes through. What a move from Dino up into 3rd place. The team at Woking will be celebrating that one. That's one of the Alfa Romeos round. That's fake nuts and I think it's gone off at turn 2. But Dino up into 3rd of a wonderful overtake. But these two fighting a little bit, just bringing Kobe P back into this. Do not rule out the Alfa Romeo from getting a good result. Kobe P knows how to get the car on the podium. If he sniffs a chance, he'll go for it. Matt Kerr and JMB Surreal have swapped places, so good result this from Matt. And it's Frizzy in 8th place. Shown some really good speed is Frizzy actually, since his spin. Oh, and Fake Nuts has gone round again. And he's out of the race. Too late for a safety car now. We are past that point of the race. Oh, I think the other Ferrari's gone off actually. I think it's Mikey. Yeah, Mikey's gone off and broken his front wing. So that's not ideal for the Tifosi. Whether he finishes 15th or 17th, we'll find out. Well, 15th or 16th, I should say. But we are in the penultimate lap of the race. Dino has made a mistake whilst I was watching Mikey. So sadly, Dino has dropped down a few places. I think he's had a slide somewhere. That is a shame for Dino. But Denmark is running in 3rd place. Kobe P in 4th. Closest fight on circuit is the fight between Matt and JMB Surreal for 6th. And you've got Dr. Strauss and Spannel for the last spot in the top 10. You've got Miller Bello and Lion Greaves being Sick Boy all together there too. This is the penultimate lap of the race. We are about to click over to the final lap. Morocom crosses the line now. But we're following the battle for 13th place. 12th place because Sick Boy and Mellow Bello side by side through turn 9. Here comes Lion of Greasby. He's got the battery, he's got the soft tyres. Ooh, Sick Boy just coming across Lion of Greasby there. Well, he's giving it a good go, and that's a great move for the Ferrari. He's trying to go around the outside. He can't make that one work, and here comes Sick Boy back up the inside. This is for 13th place, and Sick Boy got it wrong. And into the side of Lion of Greasby he went. Was kind of bounced off him really, unfortunately. And Sick Boy's good race comes to an end. Lion of Greasby looks like he'll get 2 places though on this lap. He goes past Mellow Bello for 12th place. That's moved on. And the Ferrari on debut in 12th position. But let's cut forward because Morocom is only 4 corners away from a race victory. It's been a great drive from him. He's been on the right strategy from the start. 2 corners to go. He's just got to take it nice and steady. But the pre-season event, race victor is Morocom here for Tier 2. Aston Martin takes a victory. It steps in 2nd place. Denmark on debut as well takes a podium. Kobe P in 4th place. Matt and JMB Surreal had a good tussle all the way through the race, but it's 5th place for Matt. And JMB Surreal crashes over the finish line. Frizzy recovers to 7th in the end. Spannel is very close to the back of Jay Evans. That's a good recovery from Jay Evans after his disconnection earlier. It finishes in the top 10, as does Spannel. Dr. Strauss there in 11th place. Lion of Greasby is just about fighting off Mellow Bello at this final corner. It's going to be a race to the line, but Lion of Greasby should have it. It's 12th place for the Ferrari. Pat is 14th. He'll be the last car to be classified on the lead lap. Mikey was lapped after his pit stop when he broke his front wing, so Mikey unfortunately is lapped down. Dino saying he lost traction at turn 3. That's a shame. We didn't see it, Dino, or rather I didn't see it. They're busy watching one of the Ferraris go off the track, but Pat rounds the final corner, and he's beaten a few people tonight, so that's a good result for Pat. In 14th place, making progress week upon week. If you're watching, wondering how to get involved with Gavra, do go onto the website, check out the Discord, lots of action that you can follow through the website, and I'd certainly encourage you to do so, because it's a wonderful community to be a part of, and Pat is one of those drivers who is just improving week upon week. It's a bit of a levitation pose from the Aston Martin driver of Morocom there. But he'll be chuffed. That's a great result on debut, but let's run through these final classified positions shortly. Morocom also taking fastest lap of the race by a considerable margin, it has to be said. Admittedly, from the steps, he was also on the soft tyres too. So Morocom certainly had his car well set up. Dino feeling very frustrated with what's gone on. Can understand that. So the final classification then, Morocom takes his first victory on debut. It's the steps in second place. Denmark, populated in terms of his nationality from Sweden, is third on his debut. Kobe P fourth, Matt in fifth place, another debutant. JMB Surreal sixth. Good pace from Frizzy to recover to seventh after his earlier incidents. A learning curve for him, but nonetheless still a good pace shown. Dino in eighth place, what could have been for him. Jay Evans and Spannel round out the point scorers. Then you've got Dr. Strauss, Lion agrees on his debut, Milo Bello, Pat, Sick Boy, classified but at retirement with Sick Boy, Mikey RK 13 a lap down, and Fake Knudsen the only retirements for Alfa Romeo. Well, that was a really good pre-season event to be involved in, to commentate on. I really enjoyed that action. Quite a lot of good, clean racing. A couple of mistakes here and there, but you would expect that race rustiness from drivers to occur, especially around Spain. It can be a difficult circuit at times to overtake on. But in terms of this evening, we won't be doing any interviews. We will start those again next week when the calendar will be revealed. Now, do tune in 2 hours' time at 6 o'clock British Standard Time right now. At 8 o'clock British Standard Time, we will have the Tier 1 drivers racing around for the pre-season event. I'm sure that will be frenetic, as it always is. And the action out on track will no doubt be fanciful as well. A big thank you to 3DPrinting4U for sponsoring Gavra as well. It's great to have them on board this season. Do check out their website. Lots of content that you can go and potentially go and purchase if you want to. Some really good, high quality materials there. So 8 o'clock tonight, though, Tier 1, the racing will be live here on Twitch and then uploaded later to YouTube as well. After that, the calendar will be revealed along with the dates for the new season. I'm very excited to see the random draw for the events that will be going on starting from next week. But for the first part of this evening, for tier number 2, I've been Jack TM53, your commentator as always, and wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one. See you in 2 hours.